hard-earned money. Learn to protect yourself at asc.alabama.gov. Paid for by the Investor Protection Trust and brought to you by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's time. You know what time it is? Time for the game. Tuscaloosa's longest-running sports show.
The biggest goal of our team,
especially in the first half,
we at Bama, we're trying to be the best. Always is to win a national championship.
Something cool to look back on.
We don't want to waste a failure.
You're inside the game.
John Mechie on the ground.
Appreciate your interest in the game.
On your home for Alabama sports.
And Alabama wins.
Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. Powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota. And now, here's your award-winning host, Ryan Fowler.
And a big good afternoon to you. How are you, Tuscaloosa? Hopefully you're having a great day. Hey, day number 3. A little bit starting to take some steps in the right direction, trying to get back to 100%. I feel like I'm almost there. Hopefully I sound like I'm there. No cough drops today. Yes, sir, absolutely. But a little bit of honey and a little bit of lemon. I should be okay. So we're going to hang out with you all the way until 6 o'clock. We present this every single Friday. Your chance to win on an SEC Parlay Pick Day presented by Brian Harden Construction, ASME certification, I-beam installation, fabrication. If you're building from the ground up, let's build something together. It's Brian Harden Construction. You can find those guys right there on Foster's Industrial Drive. We are always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com, 3325 Skyline Boulevard, and online at TuscaloosaToyota.com. I've got a little bit of a dilemma here, okay? I've got a really big dilemma, okay? And I want to see what you guys think, okay? We're going to give away another package today, and we'll do a parlay pick contest. I'm going to run through these spreads a couple of minutes, but I also want to go back to last week. If I told you that I believe, now I don't keep like a track record of, like an Excel sheet going, we had this many people win on this day in 2021, and we had this many people in week 6 in 2017. We've been doing this for quite a while, and I look back at the SEC Parlay Pick Contest. We had a lot of people who hit 3-0. I mean, a lot of people who hit 3-0, probably more than we've ever had, okay? We had Cole in Tuscaloosa, okay? Got it? Cole in Tuscaloosa. We had Bama Nick. Okay, Bama Nick. Somebody better start paying attention to that number one caller right there. I mean, as Bama Nick always likes to say, he's the number one guy, right? Bama Nick, number one guy. He started to kind of back that up a little bit, like 2 weeks in a row. So we may want to take his number. We want to, whatever he picks today. Like last week, he went with off the wall. Toledo, they went to Mississippi State and thumped them. UAB, they covered. Georgia State beat Vanderbilt. I mean, when he picked these 3 picks last week, I laughed at him. I was like, yeah, come on, you crazy. Bama Nick, please accept my apology. I'm sorry. I laughed, but I'm not laughing anymore because you were 3-0. Didn't miss the passing yards very much either. Bama Kathy, she picked 3-0. Yep. AC in Bangladesh. He picked 3-0. Henry in Texas. He picked Bama in the over. He picked Bama. And he picked Texas. Henry, you're also a 3-0 guy. Your yardage was way off, though. Blueberry Steve, our number one international caller up in Montreal, Canada, he picked 3-0. Bama, okay. South Carolina plus the 6.5. Then he took Kentucky as well. So Kentucky plus the 22 against Georgia, 22.5. They covered. His yardage was a little closer than Henry's. Then we go on down to Max in Tupelo, Mississippi. Max, he had 3-0. He had Bama, South Carolina, and Ole Miss. Then I go to a guy by the name of Ellis up in Manchester, Tennessee. He had Tennessee, Texas A&M. How about that? Roll Tide. Ellis also, but a number that a little bit higher than some of the others, but not as high as Henry. Henry believed in Jalen Milroe's first passing yardage. Jalen Milroe's passing numbers was 196, okay? That's not the dilemma. The dilemma is not 3-0. The dilemma is that we had the exact Jalen Milroe passing yards by Cole in Tuscaloosa and McBama, who also went 3-0. So you had McBama 3-0. So I'm going to need a little bit of help here, okay? I can be Mr. Nice Guy, and I can just give them the same package there. Or we could draw it out. We could put two names in there. Or what we could do is we could ask Cole and Tuscaloosa and MacBama to call in today, and we'll do another tiebreaker, and we could settle it that way. Or we could have them we could do like a thumb wrestling contest. That might be an option, right? We could do how many times you could do push-ups. I'm open to a lot of different things. But I could also just be the nice guy and give them both the package. But that would also confuse things a little bit from the grand prize package. Do I put them both in there? $195. I will say this. I'll be a little bit more conscious on the Jalen Milroe tiebreaker this week, but it was the first caller and almost we had 30 calls. We had 30 calls last week. 30 calls. So we had 30 calls, and that was okay. So and we couldn't get to everybody. I say it every week. Don't wait until the last minute, okay? Because if you do, there's a chance that you may not get in. And we had several people, one guy from Denver, Colorado, I think Winston was the final caller last week, and I couldn't get Winston in. I think there was one other call, and I didn't write his name down, but I apologize to those guys, but there was nothing I could do. So we'll do our parlay pick day today, and we'll ask Paul and Lincoln to be the first guy out of the gate. He'll have to select a tiebreaker. We're always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota. We've got Aaron Torres coming up in just a couple of minutes. Let me run through the spread. And then you guys can debate. Maybe Paul and Lincoln would be that guy that can maybe make that decision for me. MacBama and Cole both hitting the exact tiebreaker separation. They missed it by 1 yard. So what do I do? I'm trying to be nice here. Like I said, I can be nice. I don't mind being nice. The goal is this game is I like giving things away. So we could do that. Let's go through the lines. Florida at Mississippi State. Boy, this is a sleeper, isn't it? What do you think tickets are going for this game? $15? Let's just check real quick. I'm curious myself now since I hypothetically asked that question. Let's just see what a Florida low as $49 a ticket. Would you pay $49 to watch Florida and Mississippi State go toe-to-toe over at Davis Wade Stadium? They do have good ice cream over there. Really, 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 really good ice cream. Florida minus the 7. What a game. Ohio at Kentucky. Would you pay $49? You won't have to. $21 ticket price. Kentucky minus the 20. Ohio, the Bobcats, I believe they are, up at Kroger Field. Up in the Bluegrass State, UCLA, a 1-1 football team, travels to LSU. LSU was able to salvage the win last week. Instead of going 1-2, they're 2-1 and 1-0 in the SEC. Shane Bieber complained. He had a right to complain because the officiating was horrible last week over in Columbia, South Carolina. Even though that I saw Matt Moscona having a meltdown over the officiating and the complaints around the officiating. I'm sure they would be complaining just like they were last year. Don't you guys remember they were complaining last year when Alabama beat them here at Bryant-Denny Stadium, which is now Saban Field? I do. LSU minus the 22.5 against UCLA down in Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Arkansas at Auburn. That's the 2:30 ESPN game. That one's down at Jordan, Jordan, Jordan Hare Stadium. 88,000. Auburn's minus the 2.5. Auburn minus the 2.5. We've also got Missouri and Vanderbilt. Missouri's trying to get back on track. Missouri not able to do the great thing when you look at the Tigers last week. So you look at the Missouri Tigers, they were able to beat Boston College, but they did not cover there. So we're going to dive into a couple of different things here. You've got the Missouri Tigers minus the 20 against Vanderbilt. Then you've got Tennessee and Oklahoma. It is Tennessee minus the 6.5. That's where we're going to lock this line out. I've even seen it move a little bit. I see it at 7 right now. I'm going to keep it at 6.5. It's moved since I actually wrote down 30 minutes ago. I wrote down the lines because these things move a lot on Friday, but we'll keep it right there at 6.5. Texas A&M is going to be hosting Bowling Green. Texas A&M minus the 22.5. That one's out in College Station. Texas A&M 2-1. Then we'll go Akron at South Carolina. South Carolina minus 27.5. South Carolina 27.5. somebody's got to pay the price to the SEC officiating. It looks like Akron is going to be the victim. So we got 27.5 there. Then we've got Georgia Southern at Ole Miss. Ole Miss 34.5. Ole Miss 34.5. And then we've got Texas and ULM. ULM, Texas minus the 44. And then we'll also keep a couple of non-conference games because we do have a few off weeks as far as bye weeks this week. You've got Alabama, they're off. Georgia, they're off. They're getting ready for this big showdown in Tuscaloosa. We'll go the Illinois at Nebraska. Nebraska minus the 7.5. Nebraska minus the 7.5. And then we'll go Southern Cal. Southern Cal travels to Ann Arbor. It's another top 25 matchup, but probably not for long. Michigan's sliding at a rapid pace. We'll go Southern Cal minus the 4. And then another game that I'm going to throw in there just for, a little bit of giggles here, okay? Just see if you believe in South Florida. Because a couple of weeks ago, we were kind of putting some stock in the South Florida Bulls. We will go Miami at South Florida. Once again, playing at Raymond James Stadium there in Tampa. It is Miami minus the 17. So if you really, 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 really believe in the South Florida Bulls, you got that option. So you can take Miami minus the 17. We'll do 3 picks. I'll let Paul select the tiebreaker. I've got a few suggestions, but ultimately his decision. We're powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com, 3325 Skyland Boulevard, and online at TuscaloosaToyota.com. We go to Aaron Torres coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It's the greatest time of the year again. Kickoff is here and football is officially back. So over 1 million fans across 33 states have got in the game last year by competing on Underdog. Went up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite stats. Touchdowns, passing yards, and more. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app at UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with the promo code Fowler, Fowler. Underdog will give you a free pick just to use on your first cash pick'em entry plus $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code Fowler, Fowler, to claim your new customer special of a free pick and deposit offer. Must be 19 in the great state of Alabama and a present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms do apply. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. That's Underdog Fantasy, higher or lower. And we may tie into that Auburn number coming up in a couple of minutes because that might be my suggestion. We might go to Auburn Tigers against Arkansas. Aaron Torres breaks down college football with us coming up. Hey, it's R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, locally owned and operated by Reagan and Randy Starner. It is R&R Cigars, a great place to watch either the Friday night college football game, the Thursday night NFL action, or maybe it's Saturday, relax and recharge. Alabama just sits back, kicks their feet up in those beautiful home theater seating. You can watch those big televisions. They also have a cigar lounge where you can relax and recharge. 1,000 different cigars to choose from. The walk-in humidor, you'll find it right there. It is our good friends at R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars. A little bit delayed on Aaron Torres, so we're going to hold off just here for just a couple of minutes. So we'll get him into the conversation. We'll also talk with Brent Beard. That's coming up. But, guys, hold that line. Aaron's texting me. Looks like he's going to be a couple of minutes late. No rush. Aaron's talking, maybe he's got some sources. You never know. We might even dive into a couple things for this Alabama game. But, tell you what, let's start with Paul and Lincoln. And, we'll go to Paul and Lincoln. Paul, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Brian, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Just trying to get back on track and, tell you what, man, I'm starting to kind of dive a little bit into these numbers and these little nuggets. And more I dive, I'm looking at this Alabama line. Last night, if I told you it was a pick'em in Vegas for just a few hours, would you believe me?
Well, it certainly has moved. There's a lot of that tells me there's a lot of money either on one side or the other. That's being thrown around. So, maybe it's the MAGA bump. What do you think about that?
Could be.
Yeah.
It could be. I mean, Donald Trump endorsing this game, or maybe they're calculating the distractions of this game. It could be. I just looked a couple of seconds ago. The line has went back up to a slight Georgia favorite. They're up to 1 point. So it went from a pick'em. Now you're getting Alabama plus the 1. I want Alabama to be the underdog. I want Kalen DeBoer to go in there and say,
yeah,
you know that blank stuff that you guys have been talking about? Let all the naysayers know. Here's your chance.
Yeah.
Here's your chance. You've been talking about it. Go prove it.
So, Ryan, as far as last week's contest.
Yes.
And you've got two fellas that are tied.
We do.
And I thought I heard you say that you were thinking about letting me cast the deciding vote. Is that what I mean, you got a lot of important decisions here to make. I mean, you got to choose the tiebreaker.
Yes. But I'm going to let you decide what I should do here.
Well, I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to say give both of them a prize package.
Perfect. Now, do we put both of them in the grand prize package?
Yes, that's two more balls in the bucket.
All right. So. McBama in Atlanta, Georgia. McBama and Cole in Tuscaloosa. You guys both hit it dead on the money. We will award both of you guys a prize package. Simple enough. See, I knew you were a nice guy, even though you like to pick on Auburn. I knew there was a soft spot. What if I told you that one of these guys was an Auburn fan? Would you change your mind?
In a heartbeat.
Okay, they're not. They're heartbeat.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And if I remember correctly, McBama is not a big fan of T-Town Tony. I think I remember a call when Tony and Brett were hosting the show, and it was. I mean, the call was going fairly well until McBama turned his attention towards T-Town Tony, and it went off the rails pretty quickly after that. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
But now hold on. Did you hear Tommy and Romulus tear Tony a new one yesterday?
No, tell me about it. What happened?
Oh man, buddy. Oh yeah, man. Tony is not for Donald Trump coming to the game next Saturday. Okay, Tony, T-Town Tony. He said it's too dangerous. He doesn't want him injured. He needs to get him to November. He doesn't want to take a chance. Okay. And then, so I started hypothetically painting the photo. Would you sit in the box if President Trump said, you know what, we've got 2 extra tickets, Ryan Fowler, even though he's a liberal, I'm going to give him 2 tickets to give away on his show, because he's got a lot of conservative callers. And he balances the show out. He's very fair and balanced, honest with all of his political opinions. And I said, would you sit in the box with him? And Tony said, heck no, I wouldn't sit in the box. No, because I have to have my family and I got to do all this. And so then Tommy called him out. Thunder and Tommy called out and just called Tony to the woodshed, man.
So Tommy Thunder just went off on T-Town Tony.
Yeah, went off on him. Man. I mean, whoo, it was nasty. It was nasty. Now we haven't heard a response from Tony. So McBama got Tony a few months ago, and then Tommy got him yesterday. So we may have us a fight on our hand.
We may do it. We may do it, man. I certainly want to hear the rebuttal. That would be good to hear. But man, that's interesting. That's an interesting take there. But anyway, I guess let's go ahead and hey, you're right. I tell you what. Not only is Bama Nick the number 1 caller, but I tell you what, he's. I consider myself lucky that that my name was drawn out of the hat for the grand prize because Bama Nick was in there with me. I think he had 2 balls in the bucket, but he's been pretty strong with his picks so far this season.
He has. I mean, we're in week number 3, or we're going into week number 4. But week number 3, he's already hit 2 parlay picks. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm thinking about kicking Lee Sterling, which is our 4:00 guest, to the curb, and we'll just let Bama Nick be the handicapper.
Yeah,
I mean,
let his sponsor be PBR. That would be perfect.
Well,
because wasn't there a question?
5-star lock of the week,
yes.
lock of the week. You know, and he could, yeah.
Well, wasn't Bamanek supposed to get his own segment on Thursday?
Well,
that?
We actually counted all the votes, and he didn't. Even though he was ahead by everybody, we found another box of ballots, and it went the other way.
Oh, yeah. Man. Darn, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, we had a water leak over here too, man, at the radio station.
Did you?
So
a water main break. Man, them things they cost you. Man, those water main breaks, I tell you what, they can really screw up an election. You know that?
Yeah, well, I mean, they did on this particular case. I mean, Bamanek was his own man. Oh, he was going to make money. He was going to get a sponsor. I mean, this thing was headed in the right direction. And all of a sudden, boom, it went the other way. And so here we are.
Wow.
But I mean, this is a chance. I mean, he's earning his way back.
He is.
He's getting a chance to be reelected, and he's kind of doing it the honest way of 3-0. But Paul, we got to talk about a tiebreaker because
you mentioned. I heard you at the start of the show. You had mentioned something about the Bugs. And by the way, let me. I don't want to forget to let's all embrace the suck because Ryan, you know they really do suck. That's SAUCK. I can't stand that bunch. Stand for? It stands for the Auburn Tigers. That's what it stands for. SAUCK. And Ryan, I found it puzzling that they're only, I think, a 2.5 point favorite over the Hogs in Lee County. You know, there's a, I'm not going to say all, but there's a portion of their fan base that are kind of worried about this ball game tomorrow with Arkansas. They're feeling a little bit of pressure. In fact, some of them have said on their boards that if this game tomorrow goes south, Hugh Hefner, Hunter Freeze will be immediately, his seat will heat up expeditiously if this game goes south. So I'm not looking for that to happen. But listen, Auburn has not been world beaters in Lee County the last few games they've played. I mean, I know they stretched it out against New Mexico last week, but that game was very tight in the second half. So anyway,
and they've got Oklahoma, which is a pretty good team. So you lose to Arkansas. I mean, they've already lost to California. I mean, what they're hanging their hat on right now is a no-win New Mexico team and an Alabama A&M team that's, you know, playing way up in division, right? I mean, it's something 73-3.
I would hate the fact, Ryan. I would hate to have on my resume that you lost to a bunch of Marxists. You know, I would hate to know on my resume that Cal Berkeley came to Lee County and beat you. I mean, they're basically a bunch of Marxists and communists. They came to Lee County and beat you, which was great, which I enjoyed it. I loved it. Well, let's tell you what.
Oh, did you hear Jackson, Paul? He said,
no, I didn't.
He said Auburn lost to the woke agenda from California. The woke.
The wokies.
The
exactly.
Wokies. Okay.
The fighting Gavin Newsoms.
Okay. All right. But now play this with me just for a second. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to give me, because we're now 3 weeks in, we can play this a little different game. Okay. So we've got 2 wins right now. Okay. I want you to help me get to 6 wins. Okay. Arkansas this weekend. Okay. So you got Auburn and Arkansas, which Auburn is a slight favorite in this game by 2.5. But I mean, that's pretty much the stadium. Okay. That they're not saying to Auburn's better. You get home field advantage for about 3 to 4 points. So they're barely saying that Auburn's a little bit better than Arkansas. Then so it's a toss up game. That's not an automatic game. Then they play Oklahoma. They play Oklahoma. That's probably a loss.
I'm going to say that's a loss. They go to Athens the following week.
They do. That's a loss.
That's a loss. That's a big loss.
Then they go to Missouri and Columbia. That's a loss.
That's a loss.
Then they go to Kentucky on the road.
I'm going to say that's a loss too. Somewhere, somehow, the ball has got to bounce Kentucky's way.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that Saturday in Lexington, the ball's going to bounce Kentucky's way.
Okay. Then they come back home for Vanderbilt and ULM. Let's give them those 2 wins. They're at 4 wins.
Yes.
Then they play Texas A&M.
Beat down on the Plains.
And then they come to Tuscaloosa to fear the thumb. I don't think this team can get to 6 wins.
I'm questioning it. Really and truly, Ryan, tomorrow, for them to be able to get to 6 wins, tomorrow's game down there in Lee County is huge. It is.
It's a must win. It's a must win. All right. With that being said, let's focus in on a tiebreaker for these must-win Tigers.
Tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
What about Hammerin' Hank's passing yards? Hank Brown passing yards.
Okay, let me go quickly here to BetMGM. Heisman odds for Hank Brown. No results found. Hold on, this must be a typo. Let me see it. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. BetMGM. Okay, well let me go to Circa Sports. Heisman odds, Hank Brown. Nothing. There's got okay. I'm a little bit confused here. Let's go to DraftKings, FanDuel. No. Okay. Well, there's nothing listed. Oh, here it is. The Weed Eater Opelika News has got him at a plus 50,000. So maybe we'll stick with that. Hammerin' Hank Heisman Brown. Hammerin' Hank Heisman Brown.
Ryan, did Philip Marshall write that column from the Opelika Weed Eater Sun-Times?
It looks like Jeffrey Lee's got this one, but
Jeffrey Lee got you.
Yeah, he's just as balanced and fair. So,
yeah, he's a winner. He's a real winner. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go ahead and let's do it. Hammerin' Hank Brown will get.
You want to go passing yards?
Yeah, let's go passing yards.
Now, what happened to Peyton Thorne? Because didn't they have him as a Heisman favorite going into the season?
Yeah, he was Heisman. He was 1A.
Oh, he was
1A.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll split the Heisman. Can that happen?
They could.
Okay. Maybe they'll go up and be the first split Heisman Trophy. 2 quarterbacks from Auburn. They'll add the stats together and, equal a Heisman winner.
And you could have one statue with 2 bodies on it. That'd be a split, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right outside the farm. Yeah.
We sure do love our little brother, do we not? I mean,
I feel so bad for him. Lord God. All right. Let's go Hammerin' Hank Brown passing yards. We're going to go
Hank Brown passing yards. All right.
I'll give him 194.
Okay. Now he had 331. Didn't he have 331 against New Mexico State? Yeah.
Against the Lobos?
No, I'm sorry. He had 235. He had 96 against Alabama and A&M. He had 235 against those big.
You would think Arkansas would have a little bit better defense. I'm not sure, but maybe, possibly. So I'm going to give him 194.
All right, give me your
Let's get to the picks.
All right, go.
All right, give me LSU.
LSU.
All right, give me God, what was I going to pick? Give me Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, got it.
And I have picked and hit on Tennessee each week that I've picked them. I'm going to go with Tennessee minus the 7, and they're 7.
6.5. 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, I locked this
give me the
30 minutes before. So you've got Tennessee minus the 6.5. Okay. You got Texas A&M. That Texas A&M line is 22.5, and LSU is. Hold on a minute. That doesn't even sound right. Is that right? Did I write
24.5? Is
that what? Hold on. That doesn't. Either I can't read my own deadgum writing, or is that really that big of a spread against UCLA?
I thought it was 24.5.
It's 22.5. 22.5.
Well, just remember, last week, your wife's home state Hoosiers went to the Rose Bowl and just obliterated the UCLA Bruins.
Okay. I mean, I wrote it down and I looked at it. All right, so LSU minus 22.5, and then Texas A&M minus the 22.5. And just by the record, I'm using ESPN BetU odds. So ESPN BetU odds, and anybody else out there that wants to go and look at it, you can go to ESPN.com, go to the NCAA scores, and you type in the SEC, and you'll see the same spread that I'm looking at. So if anybody questions my spread or my integrity, you're welcome to do that. But so, Paul, appreciate you, man, and roll tide. Robert, good afternoon, sir. You're in the game. I hope all is well, my friend.
Hey, man.
How are you, Robert?
Yeah, I'm okay. So are you at home or something? I really didn't get the.
I've been a little bit under the weather. Been a little bit under the weather.
Okay.
And, I didn't want to share with my friends, but can I tell you a little secret here? I'm not trying to give you any medical advice, but if you happen to get that little, that Democratic flu that has been passed around for the last 3 or 4 years. Uh-huh. I'm not saying I have it because I'm done testing. Okay, I'm done with their stupid vaccines that don't work. Okay? Yeah. I'm not taking any more booster shots, this shot, that shot. Everybody else has to make their own health decisions. If you want to take them, you can have mine too. Tell them that you want Fowler's dose. But I'm not doing it anymore. Okay. Not me. So I'm not going to play into their little game that they play and, the little things, if people want to laugh at me, I had a mom that passed away with it, because, our medical government, put so many restrictions on that they didn't want to treat people for these things. We had medicine that works. So, let's just say I've got a better physician than most, and I appreciate him.
Well, I've never been tested for the flu, for the virus of unknown origins either. And, I've never been tested. If I've caught it, I don't know. And so this is how it is. And I've never had these shot of unknown origins too. I just decided to let my own immune system handle it, and so far it has. Hey, going back to the games, listen to you and Paul talking about Auburn, and this Arkansas game is week 4, and is do or die already for them?
Okay, well, Robert, you're a guy that's very fair. Do you agree with what Robert said? Do you think with what Paul said? Do you feel like that this is a must-win game for Auburn?
Oh, sure.
I think he's on to something.
Yeah, do or die. The season's going to get away from you real quick if you don't win this one. Let's just put it this way. It'll be unsalvageable real quick. Like Florida is already there. The season's unsalvageable already. They're not going to go to the playoffs anyway. Auburn's not. But it's just, this game will decide if your season is just totally miserable or somewhat miserable. You lose this game, and it's just a total dumpster fire of a season then. You can easily get into
You heard us go through those wins. There's not a lot of freebies out there. You could say ULM and you could say Vanderbilt. That's what's left as far as free. Arkansas, they're going to have to fight for it because according to the experts in the desert, this is a 2.5 point difference. Arkansas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's not going to be a free one. They're ranked at number 15. Georgia on the road. Missouri on the road. Kentucky on the road. Vanderbilt at home. We've already given you that win. Vanderbilt and ULM, 2 wins. Now we've got you at 4. You play Texas A&M that's ranked currently in the top 25. And then you play Alabama and Tuscaloosa. Help me get to the 7-win mark that Vegas had you guys at. I don't see it.
Yeah, if they don't beat they'll win this weekend. They'll be battling Mississippi State and Vanderbilt for the worst team in the SEC. So it will get away very quickly. Vanderbilt will all of a sudden be a threat to you if you lose this game.
I will tell you. Yeah. Robert, I'm a guy that participates in the AJC Super 16 poll. Okay, we do 1 through 16, ranking the SEC teams in order. The top 4 is hard, but the bottom 4 is even harder.
Yeah.
Now it's helping out, but there's a lot of bottom dwellers, and Auburn, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Florida, Kentucky. it's hard to decide in order the bottom four, 16, 15, 14, 13.
It's Mississippi State. They're going to be the worst team in the SEC this season. Look at their schedule. You don't lose to a team they lost to last weekend, and you're not planning on being the worst team in the SEC when the season's over with. So it'll be Mississippi State. Now, after Mississippi State, it gets real fuzzy as to who's going to be the worst. But yeah, Mississippi State's going to be the worst. So that's just how it goes. That's a list Alabama will never be on. That's for sure. Even Alabama's worst in our darkest eras, we were never on that list. So yeah, it's quite an accomplishment to get there. Auburn managed to achieve it now. So at least Mississippi State's already achieved it. Hey, so my picks are, let's see, I think LSU's got the need to redeem themselves.
Okay. So you going to LSU? Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, LSU and Ole Miss.
LSU. Ole Miss. We call them Mississippi to aggravate them. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's still in the beating his competition down mode. And Tennessee, man, the Vols are back. That's what you always like to play every now and then when Tennessee would lose.
The Vols are back. The Vols are back. Yes, they are. They are back.
That's not exaggeration this time. They actually managed to claw their way back into the interesting mode again. So congratulations, you did it.
All right. We're going hammering Hank Heisman Brown's passing numbers down at Auburn, the quarterback.
Well, okay. If they're going to win, they'll have to. I'm going to give him 175.
175. LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, 175. Hey, Robert, I hope you have an awesome rest of your week, man. Thank you again for being a part of our show. Hey, thank you, Robert in Mobile. We'll break here. We'll come back. We'll take more phone calls here in Tuscaloosa. I did want to remind you about thestandardbama.com, thestandardbama.com, home of the 20-inch pizza pie, pepperoni meat lovers. Chief, you're in the game. I hope all is well.
Well, Ryan, I didn't know this was a political show. But, Ryan, let me say something about schedule. Everyone says, oh, an easy schedule, You play, your schedule's made. I don't know who makes it. It may be the SEC office because Arkansas always said they were against them. But, I mean, you play your schedule. That's all you can do. You don't know what team's going to be good from one year to the next or from game to game. Because look at Kentucky and Georgia. Oh, that was going to be a blowout. Well, if the refs wouldn't cheat for Georgia a little bit, Kentucky wins, just like South Carolina. The refs are so bad, I think they got it against some teams in the SEC. But look at the schedule right now for everybody in the SEC, all right? It's the same as next year. They just swap home and away. So if you go undefeated this year, does that mean you better not lose no games next year? In the SEC? Because you got the same schedule.
I'm sorry, I'm not following. Help me out, Marty. Help me connect the dots.
All right. The schedule. The schedule this year in the SEC is the same as next year. If you go undefeated this year, should you go undefeated next year? You play the same schedule, except you go to their place. Like we play Georgia, we play South Carolina, we go to Missouri, we go to South Carolina, we play the same. Everybody's got this schedule and that schedule, and SEC is the same. But this year and next year. And if you go undefeated, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're gonna have a thing on your back. But I think Ryan, I got lucky. I got +4. I got my ticket early because I have my friend. He's like Brad Powers. He's a permanent.
He's a shark.
That's all he does.
I got you.
He's a shark. He saved his money when we worked together for 5 years and hit 3 10-game parlays and made money, and then he does it full time now. He's got more money than he knows what to do with now. But yeah, he helped. He told me go get it early, and I got it early, and I got our Alabama +4.
Gotcha.
So I feel pretty good if it's a Pickman.
Well,
all right, let me get my.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of points. I mean, you definitely want Alabama to win, but if you got 4.
I got +4. I got +4. but I got it like 2 weeks ago. We were there 2 weeks ago. He gets a seat and he gets into it. He gets all them books and does that. It's like going to school on Monday and then knowing what you're going to bet ahead of time. I mean, when they come out. But Ryan, let me get my picks. I'm going to go the Hogs, because that's a big game for them that they need to win.
Okay. I mean, you're in that state. Do you think they'll pull it off?
Yeah, I think they got a better quarterback. I think it's going to come down to quarterback play. That quarterback's pretty good.
He is. All right, pick number 2. Go.
I'm going to go with Missouri. And then I'm going to go with South Florida.
All right, USF plus the 17. And we're going Hammer and Hank Heisman Brown. Auburn
165.
165. Got it.
Ryan, I call them the hottie toddies and get them mad.
Okay. Got it. Me too. Thanks, man. Hope you have a good day, Marty.
Hey, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you, Marty. Appreciate that, man. Let's go to Roll Tide. Let's go to Bubba in Northport. Bubba, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Hey. What's going on, man? You sound a whole lot better.
Good. I feel a lot better, man. I got some of that.
I know.
I got some new medicine. You know, I
miracle drug.
I don't want to give any, advice, but I will tell you the pharmacy at Midtown. The pharmacy at Midtown. Let me just give you a little wink, okay? Can you see this wink through the radio? They got that hard to get medication. You know, that medication that the folks don't want you to take. Kamala doesn't want you to take it because it works. But you can find it at the pharmacy at Midtown. They have compounding options. They have the only sterile compounding facility in Tuscaloosa. It is the pharmacy at Midtown. So you need to get back on the right side of things. You can do that at the pharmacy at Midtown, pharmacymidtown.com. And it's all the quality medication, the consistent medication, but the only sterile compounding facility here in Tuscaloosa. The pharmacy at Midtown. I'm sorry?
But, hey, I'm with you about this Auburn thing about winning 6 games. They may not win 6 games.
How many?
This is a 5, 6 the most. If they lose tomorrow, they won't win 6 games. It's almost like a must win for them tomorrow. Okay. I'm not going to bet on them. Debbie, give me my picks. You jammed today.
You're all right, but let's go. Pick 3. Pick SEC parlay picks. Let's go, Bubba. What do you got for me?
I'm going to go Missouri.
Mizzou, got it. Minus the 20 against Vanderbilt. Pick number 2.
I'm going to go Texas A&M.
Texas A&M minus a big number here. When you look at Texas A&M minus the 22.5 against Bowling Green and Kyle Field. Pick number 3, Bubba. Texas minus 44. That's a ULM game out in Austin, 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. There, we're going Hammer and Hank Heisman Brown, quarterback at Auburn's passing numbers.
172.
Mizzou, Texas A&M, Texas 172. Bubba, Northport, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, man. Thank you for being a part of our show.
You too. No time.
Hey, right back to you. Med Center Urgent Care Family Medicine, no appointment necessary. The super doctors who live and work in our community. It is Med Center Urgent Care Family Medicine, MedCenterUrgentCare.com. Online check-in, significantly reduce your wait time if you're injured. If you're a little under the weather, trying to get back to 100%, we need to do that by the weekend. It's Med Center Urgent Care Family Medicine with locations in Northport, North River off Ricevine Road, Tuscaloosa, the Lowe's Shopping Center, also Demopolis, Fayette, and Hoover, Alabama. MedCenterUrgentCare.com. We continue with more of the game. We're going to Brent Beard. We're talking college football with him next. T-Town. It's Nuke's Eatery, 205 University Boulevard, 205-758-2455. Let's continue with more phone calls here coming up in about 15 minutes. We're doing our SEC SEC Park Pick Contest presented by Brian Hard Construction. And right now we go to Brent Beard. It's First Coast News, Jacksonville, Florida, ABC, NBC News affiliate. He's a Heisman voter. He covers the SEC. He covers the ACC of the overlap there in Jacksonville, Florida. TV radio guy, Brent Beard. How are you, my friend? Welcome into the game in Tuscaloosa.
Well, I'm doing okay. I'm going to give you something real quick that you can appreciate, and then we'll get hurriedly to football. But I've got a friend that works with me, and he has been out. He's had quite a year. He's had a heart transplant in March, and now he is top of the list for a kidney transplant. So he said he would have never envisioned what he's going through this year. So, look, when you and I think we're having a rough day, there's always somebody that's had it rougher in it, Ryan.
Man, that's a challenge. So he's had a heart transplant?
He's had a heart transplant.
Which is, I mean, to be in that position, it's almost like hitting the lottery.
Yeah, well, yes.
I mean, it's a challenge to have a heart transplant. Then he's on a kidney transplant too.
Well,
but good enough, if he's on that list, that means he's healthy enough to receive the kidney.
Correct. And he certainly needs it. In the worst way. So, I mean, he's glad to have the heart. Just needs to get the kidney to get feeling better. He'll have limitations the rest of his life, but just glad that he's okay. And because I'm sure there are, folks who are listening to us who are maybe have gone through the same thing, and he's a man of faith, and as a Christian, that's kept him going. So, for whoever's out there right now that might need to hear that, I thought I would throw that in for them to hang on and keep going. And I've been praying for Dick Vitale, who I think today is having his last radiation treatment around his throat area. Hopefully he can get back on the air soon. But, that's a man who is, he's fought it, Ryan, 4 times or something like that. So, there are a lot of faith and a lot of strength in people out there. And, there's a lot of good football that's coming up this weekend in the SEC too.
And just sitting here thinking about what you're saying, thinking about sports as the outlet of distraction, right? It's the motivator.
It is.
I mean, as much as we watch this game, there's a lot of people that take a lot of enjoyment into this. And the mind is a very powerful tool. If you find some enjoyment and happiness, that part can help you. I'm not saying it can beat cancer, but it can help you with your motivation and kind of get through some challenges.
Well, and listen, football has been important to him now that the season is over. Now, frankly, no one down here is having any kind of a season. FSU is not won yet. Florida's won once. Jaguars haven't won yet. Obviously Miami's doing well. They've got a big game in Tampa with South Florida this weekend too. Listen, and you and I joke about it, but football, for a lot of people, keeps them from going out of their mind and is a lifeline of sorts to keep them going.
Hey, Brett, we don't have a lot of Alabama Crimson Tide football to break down, but I want to go back to Alabama, Wisconsin. What'd you learn about this Alabama football team as they went to Madison, Wisconsin, and got a pretty impressive victory, 42-10?
I'll tell you what, the people in Madison in that stadium have not seen anything like that in quite some time. So they had to be really impressed. And frankly, Bama left some points on the field. And we're close to getting even more takeaways than they did. Tyler Van Dyke, the former Miami quarterback, getting hurt was a big deal there. I thought Jalen Milroe played really under control, and three touchdowns throwing, 2 touchdowns running. He was on target. Certainly Ryan Williams is growing up, but I tell you, when you look at this offensive line, that basically they allowed 2 pressures and they had 2 penalties. And look, if they keep that up, there's no telling where this team could go.
Good point. Let's go to some college football games this weekend. Just from your perspective, the big one in the league is Tennessee going to Oklahoma, and it's SEC opening play officially in Norman, Oklahoma. We had Chris Plank on early to talk about it from an Oklahoma perspective. Tennessee playing some really good football, but they got to go on the road and play Oklahoma. Brent, what do you think about this game?
Well, by the way, having Chris Plank on is appropriate. Chris does. And he has you on Saturdays during the off season, and probably during too. But he does Oklahoma softball, which would be a thrill within itself. I think Tennessee wins this game by double digits. Frankly, we'll be nauseated with the Heupel story at Oklahoma before the game's over. But it's really amazing that Oklahoma's a touchdown home underdog, first time since 1998 against Texas Tech. But OU has struggled to run in the last 2 games, only averaging 3.5 yards a carry. They've also had a situation with Jackson Arnold. He's already been sacked 9 times. But what gives you pause with a game like this, frankly, is how Tennessee has evolved into a much better defensive team, and they'll be able to, I think, handle a lot of the chaos going on in that stadium. So Nico Lamaliva is doing well. Dylan Sampson has run the ball well. So, I mean, right now, Tennessee is going on all cylinders. I know that doesn't make your listeners real happy about that, but this may be easily the best year they've had, Ryan, in multiple decades, frankly.
And let's continue the conversation. I'm excited about that one, but we have been talking today, and tell us if you'd buy this. Okay, Auburn, when you lose a game you're not supposed to, and you have to already bench your starting quarterback going into week number 3, with Peyton Thorne getting the bench. You've got, we've been talking about hammering Hank Heisman Brown as the quarterback now, and we're doing the tiebreaker today as our SEC parlay pick. Only Alabama fans could come up with that name, and they're forcing me to say it, and I've been saying it. We've got an Arkansas game. We kind of painted this as a must-win for Hugh Freeze in 2024, because you lose this one, you've got Oklahoma, you got at Georgia, at Missouri, at Kentucky. You finally get a break in November against Vanderbilt. Is this a must-win for the Auburn Tigers?
Oh, it probably is. That they, there's a lot that they're not doing well, frankly. And again, we have no idea how Hank Brown would do. He did fine against New Mexico with 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. But if they end up going back to Peyton Thorne, that may be a real problem too. Jerquez Hunter really ran strong. He broke tackles and frankly ran the way people thought he would. But at the same time, this Arkansas team, Jaquindon Jackson is one of the better runners in the league right now that we're finding out. Taylor Green is about a 50% passer, but he also can run well. But you hit it. This is a gargantuan game, frankly, for both these teams. Pittman needs this game. Also, but again, can the Auburn offensive line protect Brown? A, and then B, would this Auburn defense look like they did last week, or would they be the team that Cal just took apart? By the way, Cal plays Florida State tomorrow. Now that will be interesting. Big game for both of them.
Who do you think is going to win this game, Arkansas and Auburn?
I think Arkansas, if they get ahead and they get in rhythm, they're going to be hard to beat. Arkansas's defense is not very good, and this can be the last team that has the ball type situation. But look, to your point, that the other thing that would really hurt Auburn with this loss would be that it would be another home loss, and Auburn thinking it's going to get great momentum by having all home games in September. I mean, my stars, Ryan, you lose both those or two home games in September, and that very well may send them into a spiral that they may not get out of this year.
That's a big one. I mean, because we had a caller, like I said, it pointed it out, and you look at it and you're like, okay, is this a must win? Because it's hard. I mean, even the most optimistic Auburn fan, if you look at this schedule, like if you're trying to stretch out to 8 wins, I don't think you can get there.
Yeah,
I think you're struggling because we're giving them Vanderbilt and ULM as automatics. Now you're at 4. You're going to have to beat somebody, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Georgia, no, Missouri, no. They might be able to pull off an upset at Kentucky. They might be able to do that. Right. Texas A&M at home. But even if you stretch it out, it's hard to get to 7, 8 wins for this Auburn Tiger football team. And I guess the question would be is at what point does the hot seat begin to warm up for Hugh Freeze? Because we know how, the hot seat down there is different than the hot seat at other places.
Yeah. Well, look, the hot seat is kind of like media with Billy Napier. And listen, you remember this, and your listeners will too. Mike Shula, when he was at Alabama, he got crossways with the media toward the end of his career. And Ryan, you've seen this like I have. The media can either give you an extra year or two, or they can take a year or two away. Do you agree with that?
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
When they get questioning a coach, and they all get on the same page as I have with Billy Napier, and that he's not going to get it done. It's just a matter of not if, but when. That's an issue. Now, Freeze is not going to get fired, even if they go 6-6 this year, because he had to clean up too much from Harsin. But your point, you have 2 subpar years, and the reality for him is, instead of being able to do it in 4 without any pressure, that pressure may actually be there in year 3 for him if they keep losing.
It's a thought. And right now in college football, the argument that he's probably trying to make is you can build a program with a transfer portal probably a lot better than you can, in the current. Let's say if you were 5 years ago, you have a little bit more time. But now you can build it if you're alumni, believe in your program. Brett, I don't have time to ask you about every question, but what other games in the SEC maybe grab you? We've talked about Oklahoma, Tennessee. We've talked about the Auburn, Arkansas game. Florida, Mississippi State.
Yes.
Is that the Dan Mullen return? I'm sorry, not the Dan Mullen return, but the Billy Napier return there. I know Dan Mullen was watching this one. Kind of a must-see. And your thoughts?
Well, look, Florida's in a rough place. They've lost Trey Wilson, probably their best receiver. He's had some surgery. So they're really at a difficult place. Now, Mississippi State's awful, frankly, and I do think Jeff Lebby will turn that around at some point. State's offense is really bad, but I can tell you this. If Florida has one of these listless performances that really shows they don't have a clue like they did against Miami and A&M, I still don't think they'll fire him in the off week next week. But the hue and the cry will get a lot more difficult at that point as Mississippi State is just beginning to build the program. But look, Kentucky needs to beat Ohio. LSU will beat UCLA. In Missouri and Vandy is going to be, I think, very interesting. And listen, Vandy's got a great quarterback in this Diego kid. Would it shock you the way they played if they really put something together and upset somebody before the year's over in the league?
No, it would not. But I was kind of upset the way that Vanderbilt played on the road against Georgia State. I thought should have had a little bit better performance. Come on, Vanderbilt.
Really.
That's why we call you Vanderbilt. Hey, Brent Beard, Second Helping with Travis Reier. Get it where you get your podcast. You can also find him on First Coast News, Jacksonville, Florida, ABC, NBC News affiliate. Hey, Brent Beard, next time we talk, we're going to be hours away from this Georgia-Alabama game, and it is a big game here in Tuscaloosa. The former president's going to be here, and one that is trying to get reelected.
Yes.
I've invited Kamala down. We're going to do a debate at halftime.
I bet you are.
Well, I'm going to be the moderator, and we're going to kick the $1 Million Band at the side, and we're going to do a debate. But we have not got a confirmation back from the Kamala Harris campaign. So it's only an invitation. We'll see. We'll see if she chooses to say yes.
Yes. I wouldn't hold my breath, but I'm glad you invited her.
Yeah. I'm a fair and unbiased member of the media, so that's what I'm trying to do. Hey, Brent, I appreciate you, man. Enjoy your week. All right, let's continue with more phone calls. And right now we go to the number one caller to this radio program. It is Bama Nick. Bama Nick, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Woo, Ryan Fowler. Everything is great. Everything is running smooth.
How you doing? How you doing, Bama Nick?
Doing great. Got me some PBRs. Got my sponsor back on board with me.
Well, let me ask you something here.
All I do is get with your people.
Why did you not text me and let me know? I didn't realize that you had waited for this length of time.
Well, it don't matter. I told Jackson, Jackson, I ain't in no hurry to get on there. I got to drink some more PBRs, and get ready.
Okay.
I said, go ahead, let Ryan do his guests and do his callers and listen to
him. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
The drugs, Fowler, the drugs.
Man, that's some good stuff right there. That song is on me.
I bet you and your wife listen to that every night, don't you?
We do.
There you go. I bet she loves it, too. So that Bama Nick got good music taste.
She actually did say that. She said, I like that Bama Nick guy. He's a good guy.
Everybody knows I'm a good guy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'll do anything for anybody. That's why I got a guaranteed lock on the ball game this week.
You've been hot as a firecracker with these picks, man. I mean.
Well, I tried to tell you callers last week. I said, all you got to do is send me a message, bama.nick55@gmail, and I'll give you a lock. That's all you got to do. So it's only $25 a pick, fellas. Hell, that's $4 cheaper than some of the bookies charge.
Oh, okay. So $25 a pick. And how do you get those picks again, Bama Nick?
Oh, I can't give you that secret, fella.
Well, no,
I give that up. Everybody doing
your email. What's the email again?
Bama.nick55@gmail. Anybody can send me a message. They can text me and send me a message on my email address. I'll give them a pick.
Okay. All right.
I'll talk to them about games, but I'm not going to tell you how I know how to. Hell, does Brett Baird give you his secrets? Does Lee Sterling tell you? I mean,
no.
Hell, we'd be out of business, pal, if we gave everybody the secrets.
Okay. All right.
They give their picks. I give mine. We see what happens.
Now, Brett Garner at Southern Ale House, 1530 McFarland Boulevard, and also Southern Ale House on Dockside, which is a great place. If you ever come over here, I'm going to take you to that beautiful Lake Tuscaloosa location that just opened a couple of weeks ago. He said, I've been told, Pete, you may speak this language, so I hope that maybe you can help me. He said, I've been told that PBR and Fireball whiskey taste like cinnamon roll. Will you ask Bama Nick if that is true? Do you know Bama Nick?
No, PBR don't taste like a cinnamon roll. Trust me.
All right. Well,
It don't taste like a Fireball either, fella. Trust me, because I like Fireballs. The little round Fireballs. I'll buy them. And use them. When I'm driving down the road, I'll put one in my mouth, and Fireballs. I like them Fireballs, but no, PBR has nothing to do with none of them tastes. Trust me.
Well, what if you mix them? You know what I mean? Like if you mix them up a little bit.
Well, I don't eat a lot of sweets.
Okay.
That's why I'm not a diabetic, so I don't eat cinnamon rolls too often. The only sweets I eat. I like them turtles. The turtles, fella.
Oh yeah. But and you're such a guy that's worried and focused on your health. Fireballs would be bad.
Right. Yeah, I'm focused on my health. I'm just hoping to get on this side of the dirt in the morning. I drink beer, I drink liquor, and that's it.
Is PBR your favorite?
I eat a lot of peanuts. Peanuts, I love peanuts, cashews, almonds. That's good for you. So I eat a lot of them.
Okay. All right. But last
Go
week,
ahead, come on with it.
You went with 3 picks, okay? And you went with Toledo, you got that. UAB, you got that. Georgia State, you got that. And I tell you what, you only missed that Jalen Milroe passing numbers by a few yards.
Yeah, I know it, and I was just guessing. I don't know what they're going to do. That tiebreaker's just a guess.
Sure it is. That's all it is.
That's all it is. I mean, and then I heard Paul, the tiebreaker, some idiot quarterback out of Auburn. I don't even know who the hell some bitch is. Excuse my language, fella, but you're getting me kind of perturbed here now. I don't even know why has Paul come up with these harebrained tiebreakers.
Well, he likes the the Auburn Tigers.
Well, how is anybody supposed to at least get in the ball game with a passing yards from a Auburn quarterback? I ain't even seen Auburn play this year. I don't even know what he can do, fella.
Well, he averaged 235 yards last week.
What is his name? Hank Brown?
It's Heisman. No, it's Hammerin' Hank Heisman Brown.
Oh, well, Hank Brown, he ain't no Heisman quarterback. He ain't no winning quarterback. So
well, if you ask Auburn fans, he's a Heisman winner.
My tiebreaker's going to be just a guess like everybody else's. But
all right, Bama Nick.
Anyway, fellas. Now, I know you're trying to get me off here, but I'm taking my time today, fella. I don't listen to Lee Sterling and who was that? What was that show with Lee Sterling on it? Some Sterling. It was back in the 60s and 70s, 60s.
I don't know. That's out of my era.
Jackson or no? The Outer Limits or something. I don't know. It ding 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 ding. I don't
Jackson,
know. But that's
you know anything?
All right,
we'll have to.
Do I know what?
I didn't hear 3 picks.
I didn't hear no over and under game you're taking this week.
Well, Alabama's not playing. That's the only one we normally do.
Fowler, that's what bugs me. You used to let people play the over and under on the parlay picks, and I won.
Well, but here's the problem. We got too many games now.
It's the same amount of games we played last year, Fowler.
No, we've got now Texas and Oklahoma.
You run a parlay. Fowler, listen to me. When you run a parlay pick contest, you got to give the people the opportunity to bet over and under in games. And last year you did. Now you might get one game you're taking over under in, but that's all right because my lock of the week is an over and under score. For anybody that wants to send me $25, I'll tell you what to do.
All right, Bama Nick, give me 3 picks. I got to go.
Yeah, you always got to go follow when I'm on the phone. But you'll sit there and clatter with Tommy for 10 minutes about nothing.
Well, we spent a lot. Hold on. We spent a lot of time talking about Donald Trump coming to Bryant Denny Stadium. Would you set this box?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. You spent 5 minutes talking about that.
Well,
come on with it.
Would you set in his box if I offered you 2 tickets?
I'd be happy to sit next to Donald Trump. And Tom McCarthy would, too. We sit there right by him.
Oh, you would? Both of y'all would be?
Yeah. Love Trump.
Okay.
I'll step in front of a bullet for him. It don't matter to me, fella. I'm old. It don't matter.
Hopefully there's no more bullets that'll be flying.
Well, I don't know. I heard yesterday on the news there's like 5 hit squads out in this country after him, and 3 of them from Iran. So.
Ooh.
You do the math.
Okay. All right.
Give you my text. So all
let's go.
All your next callers come in can take Bama. They'll sit there and eat up Bama next picks. I know how they'll do.
All right.
I'm going Ole Miss. Ole Miss. Ole Piss.
Yeah, got it. Pick number 2.
Arkansas. Go with the Razorbacks and Oklahoma to cover that spread.
All right, so Ole Miss, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Bama Nick says take it to your bookie and throw a dart.
I'm going with
heart.
I'm going with your little quarterback from Auburn. Saul's little quarterback. 164 yards.
Please don't disrespect the Heisman frontrunner, okay?
Well, now everybody that's listening to my call now, they better look at the spreads and they better go back and think, well, Bama Nick, I'm 8-1 so far this year.
Woo! 8-1.
Yeah, so they better take note, and that's why I'm saying they can get my lock. My lock. I didn't give up my lock on this games, but I got a pick that'll make them some money. All you got to do, send me an email at bama.nick55@gmail. There you go. I ain't hard to get hold of.
All right, Bama Nick, roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Ryan Fowler. Bama Cat will be calling in here shortly.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Ryan.
We got to go. We're going to get to Stephen and Raleigh. If you look it up on Lake Tuscaloosa, let me go through the days, okay? You've got Monday, they're closed at Dockside, okay? Eliminate that day. Tuesday, they serve dinner only. Wednesday, dinner only. Thursday, lunch and dinner. Friday, lunch and dinner. So you can have dinner there tonight. Southern Ale House on Lake Tuscaloosa. Southern Ale House Dockside. Saturday, lunch and dinner. And then on Sunday, they serve lunch all the way until 4 o'clock. You'll find it right there at Southern Ale House. Always some great entrees. The bread pudding. The bread pudding of the week is the cinnamon bread pudding. Oh, it's outstanding. If you're looking for great biscuit sandwiches, if you're looking for seafood entrees, if you're looking for steaks, they've got a new ribeye that they're featuring. It is Southern Ale House Dockside and also 1530 McFarland Boulevard. The original location is open Monday through Saturday. Both lunch and dinner options Monday through Saturday, 1530 McFarland Boulevard. Eat Southern, be Southern. Great place to hang out. The beautiful patio at Dockside where you go out on Lake Tuscaloosa right there and you see the harbor coming in and you see the boats. And, hey, if you're in a boat, you can go there by car or by boat. They've got 8-9 docks that you can pull up and you can tie your boat off and go up and have a great meal at Southern Ale House Dockside. Go over and see my friends Brett Garner, Justin Cow, and all the amazing folks right there. Let's continue with more phone calls, and we go to Dale in Moundville. Dale, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Hey, Ron. How you doing, buddy?
Dale?
Good. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Good. So I fouled up the Wisconsin score. I guess that's the last time I talked to you. I fouled up the pick. I picked Wisconsin to cover, but
I know you were worried. I tried to talk you out of it, but I couldn't do it. I tried.
Right, but now I have a big boost of confidence. Now that we remember what I said until he actually goes on the road, Coach DeBoer, and takes a good team, and I still think Wisconsin's a good team, and take them by the throat, and that's what he did. He took them by the throat. His team took them by the throat, and now I feel a lot more confident going into the Georgia game. And I actually think that Wisconsin team, that offensive line, Ryan, I think that's maybe the best offensive line we'll see all year.
Really?
Well, you think so? Yeah, there's a big
really haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it. I was not very impressed with Wisconsin, but I was very impressed with Alabama.
Their line was pretty good, though. They did create a few holes there, in our defensive line. They were experienced. Them guys have been playing together a long time, and they're big and physical. And look at Georgia, Ryan. Have you actually watched that Georgia-Kentucky game?
I did. I watched every minute of it.
Have you rewatched it?
I have not rewatched it. Why would I?
I'm going to tell you, if you watch Georgia's line, offensive line, that left tackle, man, they've got a problem there. They got a problem at left tackle. I don't know if you've heard any podcast. I watched the podcast, and that made me go back and just look at it and watch. That number 71, the left tackle for Georgia, is a problem. And now you compound that with losing their fifth-year left guard, Ratledge, I think is his name. He's like one of the top prospects for the NFL coming out of college, Brian. And he's out. He's got a tightrope situation in his ankle and knee and all that. Alabama needs to smell the blood. Alabama needs to smell the blood in the water, man. Georgia's reeling just a bit, and their receivers hadn't done nothing, and their quarterback, if he don't get any time, he's just going to be an average guy. He's not the greatest runner. He's a good runner, but Alabama can beat Georgia. I'm very what are they, a 2-point underdog now, Alabama?
The line's been all over the place. Last night, if you'd have been watching Vegas, you could have got it as a pick 'em all the way until this morning. The Sharks got it on this morning and pushed it the other way. The line is now, according to Circa Sports, which is I'm watching, is a 1 to 1.5 point underdog for Alabama.
Man, I'm telling you, Alabama needs to take advantage of, it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I want them to be at their best, but they're obviously not. Alabama needs to take advantage of whatever they can, whatever problems they have. We got the same issues. We got injuries everywhere, but it's not right now. Our offensive line is intact. Knock on wood. It's intact. We look very good. We look very much more in sync, and everybody where they were supposed to be against Wisconsin. And I'm telling you, if they continue on this route and the way they're using Jalen Milroe in the running attack and using his strengths, I feel so much better, man.
All right, Dale, give me 3 picks for this weekend. I'm almost to the top of the hour, 5 o'clock.
All right. I'm going to go with Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma Sooners. All right, pick number 2.
Think about this real quick. Kent State, the game before they played Tennessee when they blew them out 70-0, they were playing St. Francis, Pennsylvania, and got beat. That's how good that win was.
Ooh. All right, pick number 2. Let's go, Dale.
Arkansas over the Boilers, and USF over the Hurricanes.
All right, so you're going south to Florida.
140 yards.
I got it. Dad doesn't have a chance when you got this Auburn quarterback that is new, and he beat New Mexico, a winless, undefeated team last week, and he's the front runner for the Heisman Trophy.
I need to change my my prediction then on the point or the passing yards.
Okay.
Let's crank it back down to like 119.
Okay. And there's a chance that he could get benched in this game in Peyton Thorne, which he's the second front runner. He's not the front runner, but he's the second guy.
The second front runner. Oh, my gosh. No, I have not heard that scuttlebutt. So.
Yep. Auburn thinks they found the quarterback. He's a true freshman. But, hey, listen, he really did good against New Mexico last week. And
I'm sure he did. Oh, my gosh. But
the Bugs are excited. They're excited.
They were excited when they heard he has their freeze, too, because he had beat Nick Saban 2 years in a row, and they thought that was going to be the be-all, end-all. So that is wrong. So, anyway, have a great weekend.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
I hope you feel much better. I heard you were under the weather. So.
A little bit, but I feel better now. I feel better.
Okay.
Thank you for asking, Karen. I hope you have a great weekend.
You too. Roll Tide, Ryan.
Roll Tide. From Karen to Bama Kathy. Bama Kathy, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well. Hey, Bama Kathy. Hello. Going once. Going twice. Bama Kathy. No Bama Kathy. Jackson. No Bama Kathy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, here we are. Bama Kathy, talk to me.
How are you today?
I'm great. I hope you are too.
You feeling better?
I am. Feeling much, much better. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's good. Let's see. My pick for this week will be
Come on.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Kentucky.
Yeah. Kentucky? Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
And LSU.
LSU. And then we're going Hank Brown's Heisman Hank passing numbers. Where do you want to go?
162.
162. Miss Kathy, you were 3-0 last
I know.
week. Yeah, that was a great pick for you.
Yes, I know. But I got to do better. Those yards are killing me.
Yeah, they are. Well, thank you, Bama Kathy. Gallon, the half gallon, or the chocolate. If you want to dominate the grill, they're going to be cooking up some great items tomorrow for all your tailgating supplies. They'll have ribs, they'll have Boston butts, they'll have cheeseburgers. They've done some great stuff there, really adding a lot to the Saturday because of the response that you've been. And, you know, I will say this. You never know who you're going to see at Mark Smart. That's become a very popular hit with some of the assistant coaches. I know the last 2 times I've been in there, I've seen 4 coaches. Saw 2 last week as they were coming back from Wisconsin. They were swinging in just like I was to dominate the grill, and talked to a couple of those guys. And it's a top choice when you look at the high choice, which is the top 10% of choice. You got ribeyes, you got sirloins, you got fillets. You got chicken swirls, which is what they're famous for. 1978 in Selma, Alabama. Downtown Northport. Go see Jacob and all of our great friends. Casseroles, dips, appetizers. You'll find Mark's Mark. And go over and dominate the grill. They're open tomorrow. They'll be open early, and they'll close at 7 p.m. And then they're open for a limited time until 5 p.m. on Sunday afternoon from 1 until 5. So all of your supplies, you'll find it at Mark's Mark in downtown Northport under that Roll Tide Bridge. Let's go to Henry in Texas. Henry, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Yeah, all is well, Ryan. Hey, can you hear me all right? Because it's pretty staticky on my end.
You sound crystal clear on me. You sound great.
Okay, good deal. Okay, hey, let me throw you out my picks. I'm going to take South Carolina.
Okay. South Carolina.
I'm going to take the Razorbacks plus the point.
Got it. Arkansas.
And I'm going to take the Powder Blue. I know they suck this year, but I just don't trust LSU's defense.
Okay, so you want to go UCLA. Got it?
Yeah.
All right. And then we're going Hammer and Hank Heisman Brown.
Okay, 176.
It's funny when I say it. I know I almost got you cracked up. But, Henry, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, Ryan. Y'all have a great afternoon, and Roll Tide, guys.
Right back to you. Let's go to T-Town Tony. Tony, good afternoon, sir. You're in the game.
All right, I'll be quick here. I'm going to go with Florida. Give me Florida.
You got Florida. Hold on, let me look real quick. Who are they playing?
Give me Bammer.
It's not on the line. Bammer's playing next week.
All right, so Florida -7, right?
You want the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah. All right. Hold on. It's Florida -7, right?
It's Florida -7 against Mississippi State on the road in Stark Vegas. Lucky to get there, lucky to get out.
All right. So now I'm going to take the coon-ass corn dogs.
Yeah. Okay. LSU minus the points, -22. Now, that's an afternoon game, which is kind of unusual for the Bengal Tigers.
Yeah, I know. UCLA was blown out at home by Indiana last week.
I know it. Indiana laid it on them. All right.
Coach of ours.
That's
Signetti.
right.
Signetti.
What is it? Kirk Signetti? Isn't that the way? I don't even know
That's
how
right.
to say it. Yeah.
Signetti. Yeah. He left JMU for that job. And we got to pull for Indiana. Indiana kind of put all this together for us.
That's right. They Kayvon DeBoer kind of got it started right there at IU. And, man, we've got a lot of coaches. Nick Sheridan coached there. David Ballou, our strength conditioning coach, you know, I mean, a lot of sponsors are getting used by these coaches. Must be listening to the show. So, hello, coaches. You know, I heard David Ballou went to one of our big sponsors. I don't say who.
Well, you know why they're listening, don't you?
They want their parlay picks. Is that what it is? Oh,
they know I'm calling. They listen on Wednesday. That's the rumor.
Okay.
Shout out to the coaching staff out there.
Hello, coaching staff. Roll Tide. I hope you guys are ready for Georgia. Let's go whip their butt. Florida,
right, you ready
LSU.
LSU minus 22, right?
22.5.
Okay, you said 22. So, all right, so 22.5. And then this team might score 60 points.
Tennessee,
and they're going to try to score 100.
Texas minus the 44?
No, Tennessee.
No, Tennessee. Okay.
Tennessee is going to go out there, and I'm telling you right now, they're going to try to score 100 points.
Okay. Tennessee, I knew that your heart was always in Knoxville.
That's
minus the 6.5.
Hey, you got to feel sorry for inbred hillbillies.
Hammering Hank Heisman Brown. Passing yards.
I heard earlier, what was the highest amount that you had so far? 216?
216.
217.
All right, now Ellis is right behind you, so.
I know, but I don't have to worry about that because there's no chance of him hitting 3 in a row.
Okay, got it. All right, Tony. Hey, big. I got to roll. That's good. All right. Big
all right,
Tony,
have a great
good
weekend,
week.
everybody.
All right, thank you. All right, let's go to Ellis in Manchester, Tennessee. Ellis, 3 picks. What do you got for me?
I'm going with 217, Ryan.
217? He went 217.
Well, 216 then.
Or 218.
216.
Okay, 216.
I'm going with Mizzou.
Mizzou.
Yep. Arkansas. And the USC prophylactic Trojans.
Okay, so Southern Cal. I got it. And Cal, Arkansas, Mizzou, 216. I got it, Ellis. Thank you, man.
Roll Tide, Ryan Fowler.
Hey, Mary. Let's go to Mary in Tuscaloosa. Mary, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Ryan, I'm going to pick Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, got it.
In Southern California.
All right. Southern Cal, pick number 3.
Florida.
Got it. And then we're going Heisman Brown here, Hank Brown's passing numbers.
I'm going to say 140.
140. Mary, thank you so much for your phone call. Anything else?
Oh, no. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Let's continue. We'll go to Gavin and Dauphin Island. Gavin, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Roll Tide, Ron. Real quick, go with Missouri.
Mizzou.
Kentucky.
Got it. Pick number 3.
Third pick, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Got it.
234 yards.
Oh, look at you. You believe in old Hammer and Hank, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Roll Tide, brother.
Hey, thank you. Jackson, I think that about does it. We don't have anybody else, right? Are we good?
That's all the callers for today.
Perfect, man. What's your weekend plans? Anything big? Anything?
Nothing too big. I think probably just go to a friend's house, watch the college football slate on Saturday.
All right.
Probably take it a little chill this weekend.
How much time do we have before we get into the show?
We got a minute and 10 seconds.
All right, give me your 3 picks. Even though you and I are ineligible.
Okay. Give me Mizzou.
Okay.
Ole Miss. And then I really like that USC pick, so give me the Trojans.
Me too. I like that too as well.
Tiebreaker?
All right.
Passing yards?
Yeah, you can give me a tiebreaker, sure.
Auburn, they're playing UCLA?
No. Auburn's playing Arkansas.
Oh, Auburn's playing Arkansas. Oh, then give me their quarterback throwing 165.
165. Got it. All right, Jackson, appreciate all your help this work. Appreciate you.
I'm
going to Arkansas. I definitely like the Southern Cal, and I do like the Tennessee Volunteers on the road, as much as I hate to admit it. So I'm going Tennessee, Southern Cal.